All right, welcome back. The 17 member, the 17 member NDC Tsunami, essentially a legislative earthquake. 17 lawmakers have officially dumped the ADC to follow Obi and Kwankwaso into the new NDC. The fallout from the Obi Kwankwaso exit hasn't just hit the streets; it has hit the floor of the National Assembly. During today's plenary, Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu read out defection letters for 17 members of the House of Representatives who have officially moved from the ADC to the newly formed Nigeria Democratic Congress (NDC). One lone member, Leke Abejide, broke ranks and moved to the APC. Uh-oh. This massive legislative shift means the NDC has virtually replaced the LP and ADC as the primary opposition voice in the House overnight. We're seeing the birth of a new super minority. Does this sudden influx of lawmakers give the NDC the muzzle to actually block executive bills? Or is the APC just laughing as the opposition rearranges the chairs on a sinking ship? I really want to get this analysis, sir. Let's have it.
No erroneous uh, uh, part from the script you have just read. Leke Abejide has never been part of the Labour Party, never part of them. He was in ADC, and he is also suspected to be a character that is the type that you have seen in Yesun Wike. And he has never pretended to be. From an interview he actually granted, he said he originally was part of the APC, and that because Honorable Faleke, who was the leader that was jointly elected on the ticket of that party before Prince Audu Abubakar, former governor of Kogi State, who was on the top of that ticket, suddenly died after he'd been elected. And that was why he moved away from APC, and that now he's happy to be back in APC. Just for us to contextualize that movement by Leke Abejide. And so Leke Abejide created the troubles. Remember, he was under specific instruction from the Chief of Staff to the President of Nigeria, Honorable Gbajabi Amila, when during the 58th birthday celebration for Abejide's wife. Gbajabi Amila told him to stay inside APC and scatter Atiku and all of them there. And that was one situation when officials of the sitting government were caught on tape directing and manipulating and maneuvering and scuttling arrangements within opposition party. In Senate climbs, it would have been a terrible, impeachable conduct to have been caught that way. Even Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, who said, stay there and scatter them, those things would have been seen as impeachable conduct on the part of the sitting government in Nigeria. But that is Nigeria, where constitutionality takes backseat while all kinds of breaches, becomes all kinds of breaches become the order of the day, so to say. Now, to that defection, it's not as if these are migratory or some what you call it, nomadic political moves on the part of the affected legislators who chose to go with OK movement, that is Peter Obi and Rabiu Kwakwaso wave of defection into other political parties. In this case, moving from African Democratic Congress to the Nigerian Democratic Congress. And I even smell a situation that is going to be worse. that is going to spell doom for people who left the Labour Party platform to join, to continue to be active connivers and collaborators with the sitting APC government. And those who also went to the National Assembly riding on the wave of Peter Obi's traction with the voters to get elected, and then they got there, they were just endorsing everything that was APC and executive arm instigated. Now, it is not as easy as anybody is going to make it look like. No, it's more. It's much deeper than that. So, for example, in a place like Oshodi Apapa Federal Constituency, where one Honorable Jesse was able to shock everybody in Lagos State, he got voted into the parliament, into the House of Representatives on the platform of a Labour Party, and the fact that such an individual, non-indigene of Lagos State, and really I don't even like talking about this indigene or non-indigene kind of thing until some people in Lagos State now are instigating all kinds of stuff, petitions against Honorable Jesse. Honorable Jesse defied all known laws of nature in beating the candidate of APC then, and then he emerged and he held on to his mandate. And since then, there have been all kinds of petitions against him, and he has explained himself that he is not the typical Nigerian politician, that he is untribalized. Because I remember the late Shibola correcting the expression detribalized, that you have to be tribalistic or tribalized before something is taken out of you, like being detoxified, and then that's when you can be called detribalized. But this person has never looked at anything through the prism of tribes, nativity or whatever. He just wants to be a Nigerian, which is a good model for anybody to operate on. And so, in inviting people for some short-term training sessions in faraway places for skill acquisition, that he's thrown the whole thing open. But APC elements who are desperately trying to unseat him, to take that seat from him in Oshodi Solo ward in Lagos. What have they always said? Oh, he's always loading the ticket. Something that is his own initiative, that is always loading it with non-indigenous. So they want him to always put Lagos so-called indigenous. And anybody born in Lagos is like somebody telling me that my children who were born here are non-indigenous. What a what a bunker. I mean, is that person really crazy or what? And then, so, all those people enjoying whatever initiative is coming from Honorable Jesse in also the Isolo Federal Constituency in Lagos have been seen as unqualified because they don't speak Yoruba language and all that. So these are the circumstances through which some people were able to ride on the popularity of Peter Obi, to get ahead politically in Nigeria. So now all these people knowing fully well that Obi was their guaranteed ticket for gaining more political relevance. And like I've predicted, so many of these people who are selling mouth because they have always seen themselves as being heavyweight, so they are settled with some federal appointment and all that. This election, if it's free and fair, is something that ought to be, the pace will be set by the voters themselves, the common folks out there that have always been described as long-suffering Nigerians. So, in following Peter Obi to Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC, is nothing other than survival strategy for some of the lawmakers that or politicians that are still wise, especially those from southeast, south, because the other day Obi said Obi was able to blanket the entire landscape with his presence and consciousness, and I think we would witness more than a replay of that in the next dispensation. That is what this defection, the gale of defection that you are looking at in the National Assembly, this is what it is about. And some are still there that would be shocked by the people, because if Nigeria were a place where logic would apply, I would say that the pinch you feel in your shoe, the way your pocket is affected by macroeconomics, not the one that is prepared and made salacious by the Bretton Woods institutions of World Bank and IMF or the International Finance Corporation, IFC. Those may not be what would dictate what the people want. For example, you saw here earlier today the governor of Kaduna State looking at the allegations of 80 billion naira loss through their so-called what's it called, Governors Forum. Allegation levied against Governor Hope of Imo State, and then he's saying it's a little thing. These are the dynamics that would dictate the survival of several of these political characters in Nigeria. And because they are not getting it right, those of us in the diaspora to feel the heat. I don't even get it. People who will kill, take 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira, and sell off their birthright, their electoral mandate, their franchise, then after the most have elected people who are insensitive to their feelings and their survival, will be disturbing people in the diaspora. This is why many of us are really concerned about the trend in Nigeria. And funny enough, you will still see some of them endorsing the out of tune, out of place agenda of the sitting government, calling people in the diaspora to send them remittances and what have you. So if Nigerians are able to take charge of this, know that elections mean something, and that decision you take in a rash manner would do nothing other than bring rash results and irascible conduct on the part of people in government. I think they will be more focused, or let me say, they will be lesser focused about the processes, about the result, and making sure that the right thing gets done. This is my take on the defections that are being witnessed across the line in Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. So you can hear me, right?
Yes.
All right, great. Ladies and gentlemen, join the conversation. Join the conversation in the comment section. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Yeah, we'll be right back for the last leg of the show. Yeah.
Watching